Welcome to the Lavesh Pillay Show. My name is Lavesh and I am your host. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the notification button if you want to stay up to date with Formula One news. So, I thought since we don't have a race this weekend and we're at the show's 10th episode, why not do a little guide to F1? You probably know what F1 is, but do you really know Formula One? F1 is the highest international level of single seater motor racing. This means that each car has one seat and one driver. This doesn't mean that it's only one person on the team though. Formula One teams are complex and have many team members, including engineers and pit crews, who all work in the background to make the driver look and perform at their best. The cars move at over 350 kilometers per hour, and drivers need to battle extreme G forces while managing to make split second decisions to keep their car on track and avoid collisions with other drivers. There are 10 teams that compete in Formula One, and each team has two drivers in each race. Each team competes for the Constructors' Championship, while the drivers compete for the Drivers' Championship. The Drivers' Championship is awarded to the driver with the most points at the end of the season, while the Constructors' Championship is handed to the teams with the most points. Now, you may wonder what points I'm talking about. Points are awarded to the top 10 drivers for each weekend. Get ready for a very annoying list of the point allocations. First place gets 25 points, while the rest of the 9 drivers get 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1 point respectively. The driver with the fastest lap of the day gets 1 extra point, but only if they finish in the top 10. We now have the new sprint race format, which also allocates points, but this is for the top 8 drivers. I'm not going to ramble off another list, so don't worry. First place gets 8 points, and each position under that gets 1 point less, with 8th position getting only 1 point. Now, bear in mind that sprint races are not every weekend, so you'll only see this on some weekends. Formula One hosts races all over the world and spans across 5 continents. The last event held in Africa was the South African Grand Prix, which took place at the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit in Johannesburg, Gauteng. Standard race weekends take place over 3 days, namely a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There are, however, some exceptions which run from a Thursday to Saturday, like this year's Bahrain and Saudi Arabian races. The Fridays have two 60-minute sessions called Free Practice 1 and 2, or commonly called FP1 and FP2. These are used to allow teams to get cars prepared for the weekend. On Saturdays, we have a final free practice session known as FP3. After the session, we have a qualifying session which is split into 3 stages: Q1, Q2, and Q3. Qualifying is used to set the grid positions for the main race. Q1 is 18 minutes long and sees the slowest 5 drivers get eliminated. Q2 is 15 minutes long, and as with Q1, the slowest 5 drivers get eliminated once again. We then move into Q3, which sees the remaining 10 drivers battle for the pole position. The pole position is basically the very first car on the grid lineup. Then we move on to Sundays. These are the spectacle of the weekend and are where drivers fight for top position in order to score the most points for the weekend. These races usually last between 1.5 hours to 2 hours, depending on the laps. These laps are determined by the number of laps needed to complete just over 305 kilometers, or 260 kilometers in the case of Monaco. Now, let's get on to tires. Every time you see a car pull into a pit stop, there is always a change of tires. These changes are extremely rapid and can be between 2 and 3 seconds before the drivers head on back to the track. The current tire supplier for the Formula One is Italian tire manufacturer Pirelli, with the agreement ending in 2024. There are different types of tires that we see during each race, namely hard, medium, soft, intermediate, and wet tires. The hard, medium, and soft tires are used during normal dry racing conditions, but when it starts raining, teams switch to intermediate or wet tires. Keep in mind that all drivers have to use two different compounds in the race, excluding the wet weather tires. And for the last part of today's show, let's talk flags. The flag that everyone would be familiar with is the checkered flag, which everyone associates with the end of a race, or just racing in general. But let's start with the green flag. A green flag is used to indicate that the track is clear and ready to be raced on. A blue flag is used in different ways. The first is when the blue flag is being waved to indicate to a driver leaving the pit that traffic is approaching. During practice, it is used to signal that a faster car is close by and about to overtake. Finally, if the flag is shown during the actual race, it means that the driver is about to be lapped, and they should allow the approaching car to pass. A white flag is shown to indicate that a slower car is ahead. A yellow flag indicates danger, either due to debris or foreign objects on the track, and can be displayed in two ways. A single wave means that drivers need to reduce their speed and cannot overtake. They must also be prepared to change direction. A double wave means that drivers need to significantly reduce speed and follow similar precautions as per single wave, as there are objects blocking most of the track and marshals are working either on or beside the track. A red flag is used to indicate that the race has stopped due to a serious incident or extremely bad weather. A black flag is shown to disqualify a driver who needs to immediately make their way back to their pit garage. A black flag with an orange circle indicates that the driver's car has a mechanical problem that may pose a danger to themselves or others. They need to return to the pits and have it checked out before returning to the race. Black and white flags indicate that the driver has been reported for unsportsmanlike behavior. The checkered flag, as mentioned previously, indicates the end of a race and will be waved until all drivers have crossed the finish line. With that, I'm going to be waving the checkered flag for this episode, so see you in the next one.